백훈종의 전지적 비트코인 시점. Good to see you again.
Yeah, great to see you. Happy to be here at Bitcoin Seoul. I'm looking forward to meeting a lot of people and speaking tomorrow.
Can you introduce yourself briefly to our audiences?
Sure. My name is Joseph Chu. I am the head of credit at Meanwhile. So it's my job to make investments for the company. I'll go in greater detail into Meanwhile in just a moment. But I'm American. I'm Korean American. I live in New York, and I have a background in finance, mostly in investment banking and in, let's call it, lending-related business.
So you're from the U.S., but your last name is Chu.
Yes.
Your family background is related to Korea?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. We talked about this a little bit yesterday. I didn't know whether it would be something that people would want to hear, but my family is the Shinnan Jushi. It's a branch of a very old, let's say 37 generation family that started in China. As far as we know, it goes back to our oldest ancestor in Korean, I guess, Juja, or I speak a little Mandarin. So Jushi, a philosopher born in 1130.
Yeah.
So I'm very aware of it and proud of it. And I'm using it as a way of connecting my American, very super American self with the Korean audience.
How are you enjoying Bitcoin Seoul 2025 so far?
I had no expectations. I did not attend last year. I didn't know how big it would be. My concern was it might be 40 people in a room. You know what I mean? Maybe I didn't ask the right questions, but I'm very impressed with how big and how much support it has from institutions here. And the popularity. And I haven't even experienced the Friday open to the public day yet. So I'm pretty impressed.
I'm looking forward to your speech tomorrow. You're going to explain what Meanwhile is to the audiences, right?
Yeah.
Can you introduce what Meanwhile is?
Meanwhile is a whole life insurance company. Whole life is not necessarily well known by people, especially those that are younger. So that generally means Bitcoiners. Because whole life is something that people that cross a line in their life start thinking about. And that line could be having children, getting married, and having financial responsibilities. So that's when they start thinking about investing, about transferring wealth to the next generation.
Right.
And that is the foundation of what Meanwhile is trying to do. But for Bitcoin, for the most durable cryptocurrency asset.
Right. Bitcoin is the most durable cryptocurrency asset, and they want to transfer people investing in it want to transfer it to the next gen.
Yeah. So it's a life insurance policy. So you pay Bitcoin in and do that for 10 times once a year. And after 10 years, you stop paying in. And that life insurance starts on the first day and lasts for the rest of your life. So it's permanent insurance. And it does give your children or spouse or loved ones, any beneficiary, growth on the Bitcoin that came in.
Mm-hmm.
And it gives to the next generation, when you die, tax-free, at least in the US, and I think probably in Korea too, tax-free wealth transfer. And that's probably the most valuable part of it. Once the Bitcoin comes into the policy, it never gets taxed.
So the insurance itself is paid out in Bitcoin too?
Correct. It goes, you buy the policy in Bitcoin, it comes into us, and then we pay out the Bitcoin to your beneficiaries.
I heard you can also take a loan out of it. It's not.
Oh, yes, you can. In the U.S. at least, and I'm not so familiar with all of the international jurisdictions, but in the U.S., the policy loan is an integral part of whole life insurance. So once you put enough money in, it takes about 2 years for it to build up what they call cash value. You can take a loan against, I think, 90% of the cash value with no other limit. So you could borrow against most of it, let's say, and do whatever you want with it, without any tax effect. So you could sell it if you wanted for dollars or one. And you never have to pay it back. It comes out of the value of the insurance that goes to your next generation.
Oh.
So you can make it a little more about the current generation if you want, but to give you flexibility. But the main product is designed for your long-term and your beneficiary.
So if I put 10 Bitcoin into this insurance policy, if I want, then I can take out 90% of the collateral in BTC as a loan.
Yes.
And when I want to pay back, do I also have to pay back in BTC?
Yes, you
back?
do. Because everything in meanwhile, everything is BTC.
Oh.
So we don't think it's a little bit hard to think only in BTC and not think in dollar terms. But once you change that mindset, then it's very simple,
It's very simple.
extremely simple.
Thinking in BTC term, right?
Yes, but it takes effort to sort of step into that world.
Of course. Do you have many clients in the US and other countries?
Right. So we've written over 60 policies now in a little over a year since we started writing policies. So that is a very successful amount of policies, but we have even higher goals for the rest of the year. We've got new capital that came in the form of a Series A. So our investors are eager for us to use that capital and deploy it and grow our distribution all over the world, actually.
Do you also have plans to coming into Korea?
We hadn't before, not because only because of a lack of ambition, understanding.
If you meet your potential client here at the venue, Korean Bitcoiner,
Yeah.
How would you explain meanwhile to him or her? Because they would not be aware of this whole life insurance policy in Bitcoin, and maybe they are more familiar with self-custody and just leaving their Bitcoin in exchange. But
Sure.
do you see any hurdle when you explain the benefit of this insurance policy?
Probably. I haven't met enough people here yet to understand what the knowledge base is.
Yeah.
If to the uninitiated, it's kind of confusing. So I try to make it simple and help them understand that first, and then add the Bitcoin element to it, which usually creates a kind of aha moment.
Right.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
So let's say there are two categories of potential clients. One, they don't know anything about Bitcoin, but they know they have domain knowledge on insurance policy,
Okay, yeah.
lifetime insurance. The other group, on the other hand, doesn't have any knowledge in insurance,
Right.
but they know Bitcoin.
Right.
Which one is your target client then?
Both, I guess.
Both?
We don't really care where they're coming from.
Oh.
What we care about is that they are interested in this type of life insurance, the whole life insurance, and that they're willing to, or maybe they're already sort of converted into believing in Bitcoin. I guess it's maybe easier to start with the people that already believe in Bitcoin, because if they don't, as we all know, your audience and you and people here had a journey to get to where they are in Bitcoin, right?
Yeah.
It takes a little time to get to that point,
Yeah.
right? Insurance is a little easier because it's a well-known thing. As soon as you want to learn about it as an individual, there's a big world that would help you understand it
Yeah.
with some kind of trust, right? The burden of trust to get into Bitcoin, I think, is a little bit harder because it's smaller, it's newer.
Yeah.
People have heard things about it that may or may not, be true. But either way, we're happy to have customers, clients from any corner of the public.
Yeah. Korean people, I'm sure the majority of the Korean people here will be familiar with the concept of the life insurance.
Okay.
But what if they ask you, so, okay, I understand what life insurance is, but why do I have to pay in Bitcoin? Bitcoin could plummet in 5 or 10 years later. So do you believe as a CIO meanwhile, do you believe in the value of Bitcoin will go up for decades?
Yes. And that's why we picked Bitcoin and not another coin. Not that there's anything wrong with any other currency or some other currencies. But we believe that Bitcoin, and I believe personally that Bitcoin has stood the test of time, right? It's the most durable. I am not, like a lot of people here, a Bitcoin maximalist. I do not call myself a Bitcoin maximalist. I call myself a Bitcoin rationalist. Rationalist. I believe that crypto in general is an inevitable, logical application of technology generally to money.
Mhm.
I believe it's going to happen. There's nothing we can do to change that, right? Over time. And Bitcoin is the most hardened, tested against hacks, proven robust, because there's no hard asset behind it.
Right.
Bitcoin's clearly it has the highest adoption, right? And maybe it's a a little bit of a victim, or it's handicapped by its own simplicity, but also that's a strength. It is primarily a store of value. It's being adapted to a medium of exchange, right? It's very easy to be used as a unit of account.
Right.
But store value is what we care about in Meanwhile, because it has to be around for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
40,
at least.
30, 40, 50, 60 years, however long that is. So that's why we picked it, and we're strong believers in it. We staked our company out. Yeah.
Do you have any plan on adding another cryptocurrency?
We are in the process of a stable coin insurance company.
Oh,
So there's some advantages to that. We'll see what the the adoption is. We're going to do it out of Bermuda also. So it's going to be a sister company to our Bitcoin insurance company. That's an easy one. We think about other currencies, but we have no immediate plans for ETH or Solana or whatever generally speaking well-adopted cryptocurrency there is out there. We've got plenty of runway with our Bitcoin product.
great. Do you have any last words for Bitcoiners in Korea who might be interested in the life insurance policy at Meanwhile?
Oh yeah, so it's available to sign up on our website. So meanwhile.bm for Bermuda. I think meanwhile.com also works. You can learn a lot there. It's not it's being revised and improved right now. So I would say reach out to me here, or I can connect you with other people in the company. We're very open to explain and discuss. We're small. We're very enthusiastic and engaged with the public right now. So reach out to us. We'll be happy to talk to you about it.
Thank you, Joseph Chu.
Thanks, Brian. Great to meet you.
Thanks for accepting this interview.